to talk about my saddle setup and the super budget way to get into saddle hunting. You guys, a lot of you watched my no stick climbing method on YouTube, and it got me thinking there's a lot of guys out there that are really just getting into saddle hunting. This has been the rage for a few years now, but there's still a lot of people out there doing it. And I got into it really way before there was a lot of good saddles on the market. And I want to show you what I'm still using. Frankly, it's not a saddle, it's a rock climbing harness and a couple other pieces of gear. I do things a little bit different than other guys. Um, Nothing wrong with the other ways of doing things, just everyone's got their own way. You find out what's comfortable for you, what you like to hunt with, what you're effective in. And I'm going to break down each piece that I have in my set so you understand why I use it and you can decide if you like it for your setup. All right, so the first thing here is the harness, okay? This harness is pretty old already. It's a Medalist harness, and the reason I purchased this harness, I'm trying to find if it even has a tag on it for the brand. It doesn't. But the reason Medalist climbing, yeah, this is a Safe Tech all-around harness, and the reason I purchased this saddle is because the accessory loops are actually rated. So that means you can actually hang from these if you want to. I don't do that, but I do like to tie off my lineman rope to that. And that gives me a place to put this, and I can clip to it and feel safe doing that. There is no other rock climbing harness that I'm aware of that allows you to do that. This one does. So you'll note I like the rock climbing harness. It fits me well. I've done rock climbing in the past, and I feel comfortable in these. So that's what I use. I've got a carry pouch here on the side for my rope, and I put my paracord for my bow pull-up rope in there as well, along with my linesman's belt. The actual sitting saddle portion of it, and I saw this, I'll have to see which guy it was online, but there's talk about making a saddle out of a fleece blanket. I'm like, really, a fleece blanket? Is that going to hold up? I'm like, well, I'll try it. I've got one. This fleece blanket was $2.99 at Walmart, and basically, you make your bridge whatever size you want. You tie a water knot on one side, a water knot on the other side, and you have your setup to sit in. And it's super comfortable. Like, you can make this fit however you want it. You can make it tighter or looser. It's warm. Most of my hunting is in Wisconsin, so it keeps you warm when you want to be warm. And I throw this in my backpack. I don't wear this out. I wear my harness right out of the truck. This stays in my backpack. Backpack's nothing special. As a matter of fact, it's my daughter's old school backpack. It's got a camo style print to it. It's not really camo, but guess what? Deer can't see it. They don't know any better, and it works great. It's got tons of room in it, tons of pockets, and it's got the center, the chest strap to it, which I like for backpacking in, especially when I'm walking way in there. Now, just like any other guys with a saddle, we've got our tree tether, right? Now, you'll notice that this tree tether and my linesman belt all look the same. Well, this was a Hunter Safety System ladder climbing tether, and I bought that. I cut it to the size that I need. I got a tree harness and I believe 2 linesman's belts out of that particular rope. It comes with a Prusik knot as well as some carabiners. Now, I've upgraded my carabiners to some lighter, quieter aluminum ones other than the heavy steel ones that came with it, but you could use the steel ones. It works great. I also have 2 knots with carabiners on here. This one here goes to the loop on my harness, my rock climbing harness. And then when I'm up in my tree and I've got my actual sitting harness on, I put that in this one. And what I'll do is I'll tighten this one to where I want it to be comfort-wise, and then I'll loosen this one up as kind of a backup safety. There's a lot of guys that like redundancy, so if I was going to do it in that manner, I would have a separate tree climbing or tree tether for the saddle or the rock climbing harness, and a separate one for the sitting fleece. If you guys watched my video on no stick climbing, here's my homemade platform. You can see, you know, this is a little bit different design than some are out there. I've modified a few things to make them thicker, wider, different for how I want it. But the real key here is this 3-step aider. You have one of these on there, you can literally climb as high as you want with your saddle system, silently with this system. No sticks needed. Nice thing about this, it folds up, you wrap it up, put it all together, and it slides right in the backpack. There's no sticks, nothing else sticking out. So literally everything here fits in this backpack. And I typically leave my tree strap separate. I don't always put it in there. All of it goes in here. And then this goes here, and I wear this saddle into the field straight from the truck. Walk right in. Okay? Now the last piece of equipment that I want to show you is this guy right here. This thing is my gear strap. And you put it around a tree, it's got a small cam lock on it, and it holds everything up into your tree. Now this thing here is actually a boat gas tank strap. You can get them on Amazon really, really cheap. And I'll tell you what, you put a couple of 3D printed hangers on there, or some taped up old hooks off of a bungee cord, and you can hang anything off of here. This thing is rated for 400 pounds. My bow and stuff doesn't weigh that, but I'll tell you what, you can cinch it down. Nothing's moving. It's quiet. I've taped some things up on it with some hockey tape, but this thing is really, really nice, and it just works. I mean, I'll put some links in the description for the things I described here, but at the end of the day, this is my system right here. Here's how I leave my house or my truck when I go hunting. I'm wearing this, and I got this on my back, and that's it. Of course, I got a bow along too, but super simple. This whole system here weighs about 8 pounds, a couple more pounds here, so probably 11 pounds total, all of my gear, and I'm ready to go. I can walk anywhere with this. Nothing's clanking on any. There's no metal here showing other than some small zippers. They don't make any noise. There's no stands. There's no sticks or anything like that. So I hope this saddle setup helps you to understand why I do things, and hopefully gives you some ideas on how to set up your system. If you've liked this video or any of my other videos, please help out my channel by liking and subscribing. Also, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section below, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I always like helping out the community.